All right, I think we're on. Hello, folks. I hope everybody's okay. So, I don't know if you noticed or not, but I've got a new chair. Here it is, here. Um, it's not the chair that I would have chosen. It was given to me as a gift, actually. So, it's here for the moment. The old chair's still here, but Coco's uh, commandeered. I think that's the word. That chair. Coco is the cat. Anyway, I'm just about to start a live stream. And for anyone who doesn't know, I usually live stream, if I'm being intelligent, 6 days a week, but it's often 7 days a week. And today I'll be live streaming, if all goes according to plan, probably for about 6 hours, which is quite normal for me. So, those of you who are channel members, I hope you enjoy that. And I'll be doing a full day's work just as I usually do. But the a funny idea came to me, and this is completely stupid. It has no intellectual value. Um, it's totally worthy of your ridicule, and I need you to tell me that this is a bad idea because it really brings nothing of any intellectual value to the table. But I thought to myself, uh, the developers that I know, a lot of them do crazy hours. I mean, they have no concept of time. I can think of a couple of friends I've got, and it's very normal for us to phone each other at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, and it's not even like, "Were you up?" It's just how they go. Now, I'm not really entirely. The past year, I've sort of normalized, and I'm no longer doing the insane hours that I was doing maybe a year ago. But I know that some of you folks are. And so, hello to you, Mamalinio. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. It says the chair looks great, and so do you. Thank you so much. And Dan's stuff is here as well from over in America. Anyway, I had this really stupid idea. Let me get this out, and please tell me that it's a bad idea. But to celebrate the new chair, I was thinking, what's the longest amount of time that anyone has ever sat down and knocked out a web development tutorial? And I had a look, and I found one video that's an 11-hour tutorial. Now, I don't know if the guy was doing one sitting or taking breaks and coming back and all of that. But the thought occurred to me, is there a world record for the longest tutorial? No, no, it's really stupid, right? And anybody here can do this. This is not in any way an intellectual pursuit. This is that crazy Japanese game show that used to be on, Extreme Endurance. But I just started thinking about that. Like, what is the longest amount of time that somebody has just sat down and did a tutorial? And it's not easy because there comes a moment. I mean, I worked in a call center one time, uh, before I even got into web development, and you get sick of the sound of your own voice. Um, I mean, I once coded for 26 hours. Your neck gets really sore. There's challenges like that. Sometimes your hands can seize up. But I was thinking to myself, wouldn't it be a good bit of fun if we had a laugh this Christmas, just for fun entirely, and we can set this up as an official sort of world record attempt. And I'm doing this so that you can beat it. Do you see what I'm saying? So, what I'm thinking about doing is just putting out a marker. There is no, well, actually, there is some value in this because I'll get to say to people, I was the previous world record holder for the longest tutorial ever, right? This is going to be bragging rights, okay? But I want you folks to see if you can beat the marker. Do you know what I'm saying? And this is the idea. It's really motivated by two things. It's a bit of fun to end the year, and I suppose it's a bit of a stupid celebration of our own craziness, because I know that a lot of you folks do even more hours than me. So, how about if we set this up? We'll have a good old laugh with it and we'll see how this goes. Now, I've been thinking about a couple of things, and if this was going to happen, this is probably a good time of year Um, Nobody's going to watch it, by the way. Mammalino says, don't do it because if you do a 12-hour tutorial, then you have to watch it. No, nobody's going to watch the darn tutorial, right? It'll have no intellectual value, but it will be a sincere uh, thing, you know? It will be not pasted together or anything. It will be one sitting. Now, if this was going to happen, I would need your help. And ladies and gentlemen, we are potentially laying the groundwork for something that could, you never know, this might become a thing. Maybe someone else will have a go and they'll take the title off of me or something like that. And if we're going to do this, we would have to lay out the ground rules. And this is where I need your help. Now, this year, from next week onwards, well, my lady Wonder Wench is from Paris and she's heading away for 3 weeks. I'm going to have a lot of time. I'm actually going to be looking after two cats, you know. I'm a cat sitter. But nevertheless, it's a good time to do this for me, you know. I think it's a funny time of year because, you know, there's not much new work out there at this time of year. Everybody's thinking about Christmas. I can do it. The only challenge that I'm trying to get my head around is, are you allowed to go away from the screen for like things like toilet breaks or whatever? Um, we could make it that you're not allowed to do that, right? And that would be a really tough challenge. So you literally have to sit without even leaving the chair, just a continuous thing. And that's maybe what you have to do for it to be counted as a record, you know? Now, if that's the case, you're talking extreme endurance. This is something that's going to be, you're going to have to be looking at your diet and everything. So there's that possibility. In my own case, one of the cats that I'm looking after is diabetic. Um, and she needs 2 jabs per day, 2 insulin jabs, you know? And I've been thinking, how could I, if it was going to be so strict that you're not even allowed to stop talking or leave the chair or anything, how would I do that? And I think that I could do it. I would do an insulin jab right before the thing starts. Then I would code for 12 hours and I'd have syringes and insulin and stuff. And I'd just shout her over and do second insulin. I think I could do it, you know? But maybe I'm being too extreme. And here comes Derek. You know, a minute ago I says I have friends with no concept of time. Here's one of them. It's Boy 1978. Now, just for anyone joining us, this is completely stupid. This is intellectually bankrupt garbage. But quite frankly, it's a bit of fun and it's bragging rights. Because right now, I'm out in no man's land. My DC radio network has gone. I no longer use any popular frameworks or anything. So how do I even introduce myself? So I want to be able to say to people with slightly lower IQs than mine, I'm the dude who was the former world record holder for the longest tutorial. Now, we have to get the rules sorted out, and this is where I need your help, okay? So, the first question is, and perhaps we can even, well, do you know what? I'm not going to have a vote. Leave a comment and tell me what you think the rules of this should be. For example, are you allowed to leave your chair? Or does it have to be literally continuous, no toilet breaks, no nothing? That's one rule. Second rule that I wanted to ask you folks about, if we're going to do this, and it's funny because Derek's here, and I know that son of a gun. He is one guy who could beat me at this hands down. I don't know. He's probably sitting there saying, right, I'm going to have this dude for breakfast. Let me be clear. I know that some of you folks do incredibly long hours and probably more so than me. So good, right? But let's clarify the rules, okay? You're gonna have the right to say that you are the world record holder if we do this. So, are you allowed to leave the chair? Let me know in the comments, we have a live chat for anyone who's here. Are we gonna make it that you are allowed to leave the chair? I mean, I'll be honest that I have workarounds for toilet breaks, right? I'm willing to you know, I've experimented with a few strange diets. If the deal is no toilet breaks, I'll do it. Um, and I'll either it'll either be a little bit shorter than usual, or you may see one or two strange facial expressions during the thing. It's entirely up to you. Um, Stretching breaks is a little bit. Yeah, so that's starting to look good. Mamalinio's saying you can have stretching breaks near the chair and one toilet break. Now that's good. That's interesting. I like that rule. I like the officialdom of it, right? Because remember, we're putting out something here that is hopefully going to have a few laughs, and I am absolutely wanting you to have a go at this as well, right? And see if you can beat the marker that I set down. Now, the second thing that I wanted to ask is, what do you actually teach? I suppose it could be anything, but if it's going to be potentially something that goes on for hours and hours and hours, I presume it would be longer or a bit more sophisticated than a to-do list. So the next question I have is there anything that you'd like to build, right? And again, I'm among people here who don't need any help from me. I know. But is there anything that, maybe even something a bit quirky? I mean, I've started work on a variety of things and never finished. I started a password manager. I started a Chrome extension for taking notes and learning programming languages and stuff. Never finished any of them. I started a comparison site probably about 7 times, never finished that. And I'm wondering, is there any particular thing that you'd like to have just covered, Um, but it would probably have to be something reasonably sophisticated, otherwise you'll not have much to do. So maybe a hotel management system or a restaurant booking system or something like that. I don't know, but something cool. Maybe even a kind of web development management suite. Like, wouldn't it be cool if you had something with calendars and invoices and where you could book appointments? I don't know. On the other hand, maybe you could learn web development. That would be funny. And you just cover everything, like from start to finish. Could you do that in 24 hours? Geez, I could probably do it in far less than that, Far less than that, actually. So maybe that could be the tutorial. I don't know. But let me know if you've got any thoughts on that. Now, the other question that I had, and this is to do with the rules, are we going to make it so that the thing has to be complete? So, for example, if somebody has a go at this and they say, I'm going to show you how to build blankety blank blank blank, do they need to finish that in the one video in order for it to count? Or is it a case of if you don't finish it, the record doesn't count, you've just wasted your time? This is just another question that I'd like to ask you folks. Now, it is probably the worst idea that I've ever had, but we're coming up to a time of year where you can do things like that, and it's something that's a little bit of fun. Maybe if I do this, I'll only last 2 hours. I don't know. I have no idea. But I thought maybe it could be just something a little bit of fun and something that a lot of you folks could certainly identify with, because I know what you're like, and some of you folks are doing insane hours, So that was pretty much it. That's my idea. And I'm open to your comments and feedbacks here. So here comes Not Mark Knopfler. That's his name. It's Not Mark Knopfler, all one word. Plays the guitar. It's very good, actually. Has a nice red Stratocaster. But he says in the live chat, first you need to know what the world record actually is. Well, we know it's the longest web development tutorial ever. I found a video on YouTube that was 11 hours. But I don't know if it counts because I think they patched stuff together. Nobody's going to watch that, right? Let's be honest. Nobody's going to watch that. But maybe in my own mind, that's sort of a marker that I would be trying to beat anyway, Now, approach Guinness beforehand to make it official. They'll tell you if they want to do it or not. Well, that would be something. I never even thought about that. There's an idea. Um, they'll probably agree to do it as as all they have to do is watch the stream on Tinterweb Symbols. Well, you know what? You never know. Maybe they could. It's the stupidest idea ever. Obviously, doing a long tutorial doesn't make you a good developer. It makes you a guy with a crap CV, right? Who's looking for some bragging rights. I'm under no delusions here, folks, but I'm loving your energy, not Mark Knopfler. I'm loving that idea. Anyway, I think that's about us. I'm going to vanish now and start my normal members live stream. So for those of you who are channel members, I'll take a quick 15-minute break actually, and then we'll start the members live stream. And if you're not a channel member, why aren't you, you darn cheapskate? I think it's $5 a month, you know, and you can never code alone if you do that. It's going to be a good one today, folks. Going to be doing a wee bit of work on the Neutron Gate documentation. Going to be doing some more work on this engine site. I'm doing an online shop for a company that sells engines. And I might even record some videos for Speed Coding Academy if I've got time. I've figured out how to record videos and live stream at the same time. So for those of you who are members, stay cool. Thank you for being on board. For all of you, in fact, member or not, I really appreciate you, you know. Thank you for being here, and I hope to see you very soon. And like I say, for the members, I'll catch you in about 15 minutes, okay? Take it easy. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'll be watching. Maybe the idea won't happen, but that's the idea, because this chair means business. One quick comment from Derek. I have a great idea for a website, a bit like Twitter. You make a statement, a tweet, which has its own URL to which people can agree or disagree, providing evidence why. If each of those is a tweet on its own, which can have its own sub-arguments, that sounds fantastic. I know a guy who has the URL, and he won't mind me saying this, but he has the, I assume he won't, if you're watching, I assume you won't mind me saying it. But I know a guy who has the domain name tweetio.com. Tweetio.com. And he has been looking for something that he could do with this. And you just never know. You just never know. That sounds good. So that was Derek there. The one guy who can definitely beat me at this task has to show up. You know, I remember I used to do a lot of long distance running, and sometimes you'd turn up at the races were always at these weird places that nobody had heard of. Places like Grangemouth. You don't know where Grangemouth is, do you? Exactly. And you'd turn up and you'd be like, ah, yeah, I got this covered. And then 10 minutes before you'd look over and like somebody like Des Roach, who was the under 20 champion at the time, would show up and you'd be like, it's like, so anyway, God bless you, Derek. I don't know why I mentioned that. Have a great one. I'll see you at 2 p.m. for everyone in the live stream. Stay cool. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'll talk to you later.